Hello, friends. Those back pages here. I hope you're well. It's December 2020. 1 month left to go in this wretched year known as 2020. News came out last week that PSA has been sold to the parent company, the entire Collector's Universe, whatever the numbers are, blah blah blah, has been sold. So I've had a few people ask me, well, what do you think about that? How do you feel? You know, with all the ongoings the last 18 months with SLABGATE. You guys remember SLABGATE? I know I was irate about it. I know a lot of you were irate. I can't speak. I know a lot of you were irate about it. But like everything else, we get irate. We give it some time. We think about it. And like any big corporation, they're never going to bat 1,000. Whether I believe that, you know, the whole shenanigans and everything, I guess to some extent it's true, some it's not, some it's quite tinfoil hat, I believe is what the people call it nowadays. But it did happen. It opened our eyes a lot to things, especially people that were or have been or are super focused on super high end, which I have very, very rarely been. I have been. I think anyone that collects slabs, period, but, you know, speaking about slabs, anyone that collects slabs goes through phases over the years, and I've been fortunate enough to have been collecting slabs for 15 years now. And I'm obviously human, nowhere near perfect. So what you see there are the three big companies. The fourth company will join the fray next year, CGC. I should have looked up what their letter abbreviations are, but their CGC is pretty much the PSA of comic book grading. And then earlier this year they moved into grading non-sports trading cards, mainly Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. So I believe early next year they're going to start up with sports cards, and they've hired one of the senior graders from BVG, Andy Bloom, to go over and work for them. So that's a good sign. So, what do I think about the sale of PSA to go private? Now, Nat Turner, who is a fellow collector like yourself and I, just on a whole other level, due to financial success and whatnot, good for him. I've never met him. I've had very few interactions with him, but I've always got the impression that he is a collector, and a passionate one at that. His focus is mainly basketball, and he's always been positive, in my opinion, as far as stuff that comes to the hobby. So I don't expect that to change. I don't know his role in the upcoming change of PSA. I don't know if he's more like Jordan, who, you know, owns a small piece of the Marlins because he's friends with Jeter, or he's like Jeter, who owns a small piece of the Marlins but is the face of the Marlins now. So I don't know how that's going to go. Obviously, nobody does. We should learn more about that in the coming months. But I don't know how much is going to change. I mean, I don't. Obviously, it would be nice if they cleaned up everything, the shenanigans, the slow turnaround times. I don't know. We are at a point in the hobby now where it's pretty much, especially in today's day and age, it's bigger than not bigger than it was 30 years ago, but bigger in a different way. It's a lot more money involved, a lot less product involved, and I don't know how much of that is going to change as far as turnaround times for grading and the other stuff. I do think that, and it's funny because I look at the reactions of this on various forums and social media, and I see a lot of how do I say this properly? Small-minded. I don't want to call people stupid, but I've seen the whole range of reactions. Well, now Nat's going to have all his cards, graded PSA 10 because he owns the company and he's going to get special treatment. And it's like, really, man? It's just... And, now that the company PSA is going private, there's going to be more, scrupulous activity and this and that. It's like, man, it's just... I get it. It's easy to go right to the negative. But, man, it's just... the sheer volume of stuff that PSA is grading. The misses, the errors, the problems are spotlighted and multiplied. And I'm not being an apologist here for PSA, but it's easy to magnify the negatives and, oh, look, they graded this 1914 Cracker Jack reprint as an original. These guys are fools. Burn them to the ground. They're all crooked. Give me a break. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it if you've been following along. Now, the one thing I will say is, and, this might come off as a bit snide, but I wonder how well Watergate would have gone over if those two gentlemen that broke the news would have just remained private in the internet age, then not be known, just be throwing stones. Whether the stones they are throwing are true or not is not what I'm saying. And I get it. What they're doing is dangerous. But I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of people, don't take them as seriously as they should because they remain 100% anonymous. And so that's SLABGATE talk, and tonight probably shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. But do please, in the comments below, let me know how you're feeling about the sale of PSA and the future of PSA. And I think it's a good one. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to be a positive thing. I think Nat's been on the cover of Forbes magazine. He's very fortunate in his business dealings. Oh, and that's right. I did almost forget to mention that another partner that went in on the buying of PSA, I believe for $700 million, was the new owner of the New York Mets, Steve Cohen. The Cohen Group. They are also part owners of it. So that's going to be interesting. And, you have a Mets owner who, getting involved with PSA. The Arizona Diamondbacks owner is one of the larger. He has one of the best. Well, I guess it's subjective, but he owns, I don't know if collect is word, but he owns, I think he owns at least two of the PSA 10 1952 Manos. And I'm 98% sure he was the one that purchased the 2009 Bowman Chrome Trout Superfractor BGS 9 for $3.8 million. So, these aren't really your kids' cards anymore. Having said that, there's always going to be an entry level for everybody to collect cards. We're talking about cards tonight. So there's always a level to, depending on your budget, it might not be the level you want, but it's a level nonetheless. Now you see the three cards I have here in front of you. It's nice to see Harold back. It's been a while. Quote stained. I purchased that years ago for $5-ish. It's a PSA 9. Just because I enjoy collecting graded rookie cards. And I don't know what that's worth now. It's more than $5, but it's not as much as it was, when he was granted admission into the Hall of Fame. Heard he is a nice guy. But that increased in assigned value. But so a lot of my slabs, I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of my slabs, I have a story with them. And I think that also adds to the collecting of slabs, because if that was a raw Harold Baines, it would be nice, but it wouldn't have, and it might have stories attached to it, but over the years you tend to forget. Now, the two cards to your left, we'll start with the one in the background, the Albert Pujols 2001 Topps Traded rookie card. That currently resides in a SGC 96, which is a 9, their old scale. And again, that's a whole nother can of worms to discuss their changes over the years and why I think they should probably be concerned about the CGC entry into the game next year. But we'll definitely talk about that at another time. But that SGC 9 used to be in a PSA 9 holder. It wasn't a PSA 9 slab. No joke. I had shown off a while ago a bunch of Pujols and A-Rod and whatnot SGC slabs. I had an SGC slab phase there for a while. So I wanted that particular card in an SGC holder, so I crossed it over. I said, hey, they do SGC, or they used to do crossover service. And I said, yeah, 9. Just wanted a 9 crossover, and it did. And then you see to the left of that card, there is the BGS 9 LeBron James Topps rookie. I bought that card at the shop I used to work at many, many years ago. And unfortunately, this shop closed down a year ago. A year and a half ago. I think it was a year and a half. It was before the pandemic, but the shop was down in lower Manhattan. Rent got outrageous. The store was there for 20 years. So, but bought that LeBron probably 4 or 5 years ago now. Maybe 3-4 years ago. I don't remember, but I do remember I paid $30 for it. So, because it was only a BGS 9. Back when 9s were fine and 9s were cheap. Because it's not a 10. Why would you waste money on 9s? Well, here we are. So I just got back from the local Target. And I ran into the rep. I couldn't believe it. The first thing she said to me, "You're late." I had Prism football. It's all gone. I said, how many? Did you have megas? She said, no megas. I had 10 blasters. She said there were 10 guys waiting when the store opened this morning. I'm not going to be... And I don't see any problem with that. I don't have a problem with people flipping, ripping, gripping. However you want to enjoy hashtag your hobby. Or hashtag my hobby. That's fine with me. But like I've always said, this is a marathon. This collecting life is a marathon and not a sprint. And I'm fortunate enough in what I have. And I've gotten where I've gotten, however you regard that. That's everyone's own personal opinion. But I've gotten where I am because I slow and steady. That's my pace, slow and steady. So, we had a good laugh. That, oh man, I people waiting for the doors to open and then waiting for the product to get put out. So there were no 2020 Prism NFL megas or cello packs. Just 10 blasters, and they won. Like I've said before, my target is now a 1 SKU per person per day. So those were all gone. Now, I've had a few people say, oh, just go to self-checkout. You can buy as many as you want. Well, no, you can't. Not at my Target, because they put, and I don't know if this will show up on the camera, but they put the spider wrap security, used for games and stuff. They put that on the product, so this box has a bit of damage. The top got crushed in there. There on the bottom, you see a nick there on the. That's fine. This one they were able to open properly. I'm glad I landed this, because the cheapest one on eBay is $30. Free shipping $30, but then there's tax. So I wanted to add one of these boxes to the collection because Adam Baum is on the box, and I like Adam Baum. He has a couple. He has a base card in here, but I'm not really into the other characters too much. But this is a 5 packs and then a pack of Atomics. I think it's cool looking. It's $20 for Garfield Chrome Series 3. The Series 1 came out 7 years ago. I think Series 2 came out 2 years after that. But here we are. This is the 2020 Prism NCAA basketball, which I was surprised I had 5 of these and 5 of these. So if there's any more tomorrow when I stop by, I will pick up more, but I would seriously not bet any amount of money that they're there, because that's just a losing proposition. But normally in non-pandemic times, non-2020 F2020 times, this is an easy pass. I have one other blaster. I was fortunate to find a mega earlier in the year, and I think the one cello that I was able to buy. But it's 2020, and here we are. And I think that, the season's going to start up in about 3 weeks now, at the time of filming this, hopefully. So there's not going to be any NBA basketball 2021 product until January. I believe hoops will be first, probably in mid-January, so you're looking at another 5 or 6 weeks until any, licensed NBA product is out. So from a collecting, investment type of standpoint, flipping, you might say, if any of the 2020 rookie class takes, starts the season, on fire, then he's going to have a card in here. and he won't have any other cards on the market until Hoops comes out in 5-6 weeks. So there is an opportunity there, if that is your thing, to pick that up, flip it, rip it, grip it, whatever you want to do with it. But I look at it as it's a chromium product at retail price, which is awfully difficult to do here in 2020. So even at $20, you're not going to lose. You know, eventually this blaster will be half a dozen years old. Somebody will emerge from there and be something, because that's how the NBA works. You know, we can debate that all day as well. The one other thing they did have that I just wound up not buying, because the card selection wasn't very good, and the cards in what I'm about to talk about were also in beat up bad shape. But you may or may not know, and I learned this probably a week and a half ago or so, that Topps Update Baseball Target Red cards have returned. Now, if you are collecting a player that's in 2020 Topps Update, he has a base card with a Target Red border on the left side. Now, these are only available, as far as I've been able to tell, in these 2020 Topps Update Target exclusive blisters. A 2-pack blister, not blaster, a 2-pack blister that has one 2020 Topps Update Target Red border exclusive card in it. Now, it's on the front, so you can see right away who it is. So I saw Jacob deGrom, but the upper left-hand corner had a lot of white showing. So I went ahead and just left it there. Because, I don't know. But that's just something else to keep an eye out for in your passings. It's not like you're going to see them anyway, but you might. And, you know, I doubt that I think they had 5 different blisters, but they'll probably be gone tomorrow. I mean, technically, I guess I could, you know, after I hit stop on this video, I could head back there and be a dick about it and buy some. But, you know, like I said, I've gotten to where I am, just slow and steady. Enjoy the race. Enjoy collecting. Enjoy sharing, and most of all, enjoy learning. Because once you stop learning, it's not a good thing. So I just want you to remember that you matter. I want you to share your knowledge with others. Because what good is the knowledge if everyone's not growing? And remember, be kind.